afternoon. Today we're going to be making some New York cheesecake, and it's using Chantal's recipe from allrecipes.com. And in here I have 15 graham crackers that are crumbled up loosely, and I'm going to be adding in a couple tablespoons of melted butter or margarine and mixing. This is always the worst part. If you have a food processor, you can use a food processor for this. You want to get it so that the graham crackers stick together, and you can press them into the bottom of your springform pan. Here's my springform pan that I have greased, so it's ready to go. Getting there. So you take your graham crackers. I have my ovens preheated to 350 degrees. Take your graham crackers, put them in the bottom. This looks like way too much, if you ask me. So use your own judgment. We're going to just go with part of that. You can grab a fork and press it down into the bottom. You could also stick it up around the edges if you'd like. And the next step is to take 4 bricks of cream cheese. I'm going to wipe this off real quick. And you want to beat this. Mix it up a little bit. And we're going to be adding in 1½ cups of sugar, just plain old white cane sugar, and allow that to mix. And now that that's starting to look smooth, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of milk. Starting it off slowly. And here I have 4 eggs. I'm going to add them one at a time. 1, 2, grab a spoon or a spatula and wipe down the sides. You don't want to overbeat it. 3. And here's the 4th egg. And next we have a cup of sour cream and a tablespoon of vanilla that I'm going to add in. This is actually vanilla Greek yogurt that I had. I'm out of sour cream, and I've made this before with Greek yogurt. This is some Greek yogurt that I don't like to eat, just because it's not my preference. I like non-fat, plain Greek yogurt with some honey on it instead of the pre-sweetened stuff. And we're adding a 1/4 cup of flour. Don't over mix it. Just mix it enough to incorporate it. And I'm going to do the rest of the stirring by hand. All right, that's looking pretty good. All right, the mixture's all beat up. I beat the mixture. And now I'm going to pour it into the pans. And I've made this before. This is an 8-inch springform pan, and you're supposed to have a 9-inch. So I think there's a little bit extra that is not prudent to put it into your pan because it'll rise a little bit and overflow. And I think that might be as much as I can get. Might be a little bit much, but we'll go with it. And I took the leftover crumbs, the crust mixture, put it in the bottom of this pan, and this will be my little snack. And the other pan we can use for company or whatever it is that you're doing. So we have one for us to test out and the other one for serving, which works out really well as far as I'm concerned because I like to try foods. All right, this is going to go into the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Let's see if we can swing around. Let's see if we can take it off. There we go. And I'm putting it in. I'm actually going out, so I'm going to be setting the timer for an hour. And after an hour, I'm going to have the oven turn off automatically, and you leave the cheesecake in the oven to cool for 5 or 6 hours. Okay, between you and me, I don't have the patience to wait 5 or 6 hours before taking it out. This little guy here especially will probably need to come out before then, but I'm just going to risk it, and it's just for us to eat anyhow. So this one should take a full hour to cook, and the other one probably won't take nearly as long, but I'm just going to let it sit in the oven. So here's how I'm going to program my oven. It's at 350 degrees. It's 7:35. So I go over here and I've hit cook time, 1 hour. And then I hit start. Nope, the start right there. And then it's cooking in the upper oven, 1 hour. Here's the cook time. This is the temperature. I did test this, and you can do the same thing with yours if you're going to set it for an hour and then have it turn off while you're in bed or whatever. What you want to do is set it for 1 minute and then test it. Do the cook time, 1, start, and see if it goes off, if your oven turns off after a minute. And that pretty much gives me the confidence to know that you're going to be all right after an hour. It's going to turn off. Okay, so I'll come back in probably a few hours after I get back from running my errands. All right. I got home a little bit ago. Before I left, I took out the smaller one after it had been in the oven about a half an hour. And then when I got home, the oven was beeping. And here is the cheesecake. It does have a little crack down the middle. Let's see if I can get this in the view. But it looks pretty good. I'm still hot. Burning my fingers. But looks like it cooked well. And it will be delicious. And now I'm going to let it cool. Now, if you're real fussy about it, honestly, if you're trying to get a cheesecake that doesn't crack, the recipe that I found where it worked the best was when you put the cheesecake into a water bath. However, my problem with putting it into a water bath is that the crust on the bottom got soggy, and I do not like soggy crust. So I'd rather have a crack on the top. You can easily put a can of canned cherries on top, or fresh cut strawberries mixed with a little sugar, and it covers up the top, goes perfectly with the cheesecake, and it's delicious. All right, that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, write them down in the comment section. I'd love it if you'd hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel.